wanted to become their own gods, to the point that many of them attempted to dictate to their Lord their wants and desires. O you who believe, do not put yourselves forward before Allah and His Messenger. Dissatisfaction is a trap of the devil. The devil prevails in his subjugation of man most often in two areas: dissatisfaction and desire. In these instances, he finds his prey to be extremely vulnerable, particularly when displeasure becomes deep-rooted. At this point, he says, he does and he thinks that which displeases his Lord. For this explicit reason, the Prophet said, upon the death of Ibrahim, the heart is sad, the eye sheds tears, and yet we don't say anything except that which pleases our Lord. The death of one's child is something that might lead to resentment in a person's heart. Hence, the Prophet informed us that in such a situation regarding which most people are resentful, and which causes them to say or do that which is displeasing to their Lord, they must not say anything except that which pleases their Lord. If one were to keep the following three matters at his fingertips when he is displeased and angry about what has happened to him, then the burden of his calamity will lighten significantly. They are to know and to believe in the wisdom of Allah, and in the fact that He knows best what is good and beneficial for His slaves, to be conscious of the great reward and recompense that Allah promised to the slave who becomes afflicted and is then patient, to know and accept that rulings and judgments are with Allah, while submission and obedience are for His slaves. Is it they who would portion out the mercy of your Lord? Another word of contentment. The desires of one who is contented are subservient to what his Lord wants from him, meaning that which Allah loves and that with which He is pleased. Hence, contentment and the blind following of one's own desires can never coexist in the same heart, and if one has a share of the former and a share of the latter, his heart will be conquered by the stronger of the two. And I hasten to you, O my Lord, that you might be pleased. Contemplate this hadith, because acquainted with Allah is good times. He will know you in harsh times. Become acquainted with Allah means that you should seek closeness to Him by being obedient to Him, by being thankful to Him for His blessings, and by turning to Him sincerely before hardship befalls you. In good times refers to times of peace, safety, blessings, and good health. He will know you in harsh times by alleviating your hardship and by giving you an exit from every difficult situation. It is very important that a special relationship exists in the heart between the slave and his Lord. A relationship that allows the slave to feel so close to his Lord that he requires no other. Thus he finds company when he is alone, and he tastes the sweetness of remembering Him and supplicating to Him. Allah's slave will continually face hardship and difficulty until he dies. But if he has a special relationship with his Lord, that of being an obedient slave, all of the hardships of life will become easy for him. Overlooking the faults of one's brothers, showing forgiveness and joy in what is good, and turn away from the foolish. Don't punish them. It is not right for you to forsake your brother because of one or two faults that you find in him, especially if the rest of his character is honorable, as we know. Perfection for any one of us is unattainable. How is it that you want your friend to possess a specific pattern of characteristics when your soul, which is the closest of souls to you, does not always obey your commands? What right do you then have to expect another person's soul to follow your orders? Even as he is now, so were you yourselves before till Allah conferred on you his favours, guided you to Islam. So ascribe not purity to yourselves. He knows best him who fears Allah and keeps his duty to him. It is enough for you that you are satisfied with the main part of your brother's character. Abu Darda, may Allah be pleased with him, said, to reproach your brother for something is better than to lose him altogether. Some of the wise said, we are still not satisfied with ourselves, so how then can we expect ourselves to be satisfied with others? It has also been said, don't remain aloof from someone who impresses you with a good character and sound judgment because of some minor fault that is surrounded by an ocean of virtues. You will not find as long as you live a person so cultivated that he is free from blemish and sin. Contemplate your own self and how it often errs and strays. This kind of introspection makes your demand on others more balanced and makes you more sympathetic to the sinner. An Arab poet said, who is the one whose character is untainted? Sufficient worthiness for someone is that his defects can be counted. It has been said that one's suspicions concerning one's brother should not ruin a good mutual trust that has been tested over time. Said to his son, O my son, whoever among your brothers becomes angry with you 3 times and on each occasion speaks only the truth about you, take him as a close friend. From the rights of mutual love is to forgive and overlook shortcomings. So overlook their faults and with gracious forgiveness. These are people and the world, and there is no doing away with dust that irritates the eyes or spoils the drink. From the lack of fairness is to expect refinement in the world while you yourselves are unrefined. And had it not been for the grace of Allah and his mercy on you, not one of you would ever have been pure from sins. A poet said, you seek a cultivated person who is free from defects, but does the aloe exude a pleasant odour without smoke? So ascribe not purity to yourselves. He knows best him who fears Allah and keeps his duty to him.